Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for the debate show, man, and we're good to be back, man, debating all things Man United, man, as we have a game tomorrow against Brentford. Premier League is back. And you know what? I think we missed it, man, until maybe 10 p.m. tomorrow. Then we'll find out if we missed it or not. You know what I'm saying? So big up to everyone locked in. Please smash the like button. Everyone right now hit the like button. That's the main thing you need to be doing as you tune in. It helps the algorithm straight away. YouTube, you know, what I mean, more likes, more we shoot up the algorithm. So please hit the like button. And how are you, man? Everything all good?
Saeed, good to be back on, bro. Good to be back on. Everything's fine, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, all good on my behalf, man. Griggs, what you telling me? New York settings, what you saying?
I'm doing good, bro. Hope everyone is good. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Yeah, just happy Prem football is back tomorrow all day. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, man. Big up, man. Kaz, what you saying, man? Everything good?
Always handler, man. Come on. I can't believe, yeah, there's only a week and a half left of Ramadan already.
Yeah, mad.
I'm in shock. I'm in shock. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm just glad that we got a weekend where you know what? Should we be giddy for our weekend? Really? You know, we set some expectations that we should beat Brentford, but you know, just
Yep,
saying.
absolutely. Who knows? Who knows, man? We'll discuss it. And big up to this Poms, man. You know what I mean? Highly requested. They wanted you back. You know what I'm saying? So we brought you back, man. What are you saying? Everything all good?
Doing good, man. Glad to be back. Thank you for the love chat. Saw your comments last time. Very kind. Glad to get started today.
Yeah, man. Big up to you. Big up to you. The Rhino's going to be here to join us as well shortly. So big up to you guys as always. But let's get into it, man. I want to discuss Mason Mount, yeah? Mason Mount and how we get him back into the team. Has he got a future at Man United? Does he fit into what we do? Have we wasted money on him? You know what I'm saying to you? I start with Griggs because I know he loves to talk about wingfielders and all of that, but Griggs, Mason Mount. What are we saying about Mason Mount? Has everyone forgotten about him? Uh, has he got an impact in this team? Does he get in the team? Has Mino destroyed his chances of getting to the team? You know, what are you saying, man?
I mean, that's to be fair, that's a complex question. In the fact that in the summer and preseason, we saw Mount, Mano, Bruno line up together a couple times. And for me, I kind of thought that he might go with that and maybe like a Mount right wing, like the Casemiro, Bruno,
Yeah.
Manu, and then like a Mount right wing. We saw that against Real Madrid, I think, in that preseason game. And I think that was Ten Hag's strongest lineup. So maybe he'll go back to that, but obviously Mason Mount, we never had the chance to see that because everyone's been injured except Bruno, obviously. But with Mason Mount, obviously, I was okay with the signing under the premise that we were gonna sign another midfielder. That wasn't Amrabat, obviously. That didn't end up happening. So I was like, kind of a misuse of funds because Mount would have been free in about 2 months' time to sign. Instead, we spent 60 mil on him for no reason. We could have used that money on a different position, whether it be a DM, whether it be a center back, anything. So from that perspective, I do think that it was a bad signing, but I do think he has something to offer. Obviously, I don't know. It might not be as a starter because I generally don't know what Ten Hag wants to do with his midfield because Casemiro is apparently back for tomorrow. So I'm going to assume he goes back to Casemiro, Manu, and Bruno. Maybe Mount can start. Maybe Mount can give you something off the bench, 20, 30 minutes maybe. He can run for days. I'll give him that. He has an unlimited engine. And when last 20 minutes of a game, that's good to have. But right now, I personally, the only way if Casemiro was injured, like still if he was in foot, I would say yeah he has a place to play maybe like instead of McTominay because I think Mount's a more disciplined like box crash in terms of like what McTominay does. I think Mount's better at it because for me he's better on the ball. He's a better presser. Maybe physical presence is a little bit less obviously than McTominay, but overall I think in that like advanced 8 whatever role that McTominay plays, I think Mount could do a job there. Will he do the best possible job? No, we're gonna talk about someone that we might sign that I think will do a better job in that kind of role. But I think Mason Mount can he can provide something, but it's not 60 million worth of something. I'll give you that much.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, it's difficult, man. It's difficult. You know what I mean? Listen, I never really wanted him at Man United. And when we signed him, 65 million, I think everybody was kind of like, it's a bit too steep with 1 year left on his contract. Let's be honest, man. You know what I mean? Like it was a lot of money, and so he's had injuries to be fair, but even when he's looking like he's gonna get back into the team, he's not really played. You know what I mean? There's a couple of situations where he was on the bench and he didn't get into the team. But I mean, Ange, are you a big fan of Mount? Or if not, then what can he do to get into this team? And can he be a mainstay? What's your thing? Because you've got McTominay who's now getting goals. Mount hasn't got a goal in a year. Apparently he's only got one assist in the whole calendar year of 2023. I don't know if that's
He's
true.
barely played any games. That's unfair, Saeed. He's barely played any games. His whole last 12 months at Chelsea was a mess. He was injured. I must say, I'm glad you brought up this topic because I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Mount. I think, some players, regardless of system, they're going to flourish because they just, for example, Kobe's a great example. Regardless of how much mess is around him, how much the system is complicated or not working, he'll still shine because he's that good of a player. Mount, for me, is a system player. If you've got a well-defined system as a team, Mount is a type of player that's going to execute exactly the instructions. That's why coaches love him. The coaches have loved him throughout his time because he'll execute he'll do exactly what you tell him. So if we have a well-defined system, Mount, for me, is a valuable player in a good team. That's why if he went to Liverpool, I had no doubt he'll be a success. I had no doubt. If he went to Liverpool under Klopp, he presses really well. He makes good decisions. He doesn't complicate the game. Like if he receives the ball, he's not going to. I would much rather Mount in our team than Bruno every day of the week. A fit and healthy Mount because he's had a lot of injuries. But a fit and healthy Mount, you give him 3 months running the team, we would be a much better. So he's going to follow instructions better than Bruno. He's less of a defensive liability than Bruno. Yeah. And the other thing is, if you're going to play that number 10 role like Bruno does, Bruno can't receive the ball in tight areas. If he gets pressed a little bit, he loses it. He crumbles. He falls over. You look at that Liverpool game, he came deep to collect that ball. Remember who scored that goal where it was disallowed? That Liverpool game. Who's a Liverpool player that scored the goal that was disallowed? No,
Which
the Liverpool player. The Liverpool players. He scored a goal in the first half. Remember, and it was disallowed because it was offside because Bruno lost the ball in our own half. You guys remember?
I remember that one.
It was just before they scored their first goal. Just before they.
Was it Endo?
Oh, it was Endo. Yeah, it was Endo. So it was Bruno that was being pressed. If you remember the ball, and then he lost the ball, and then they scored. And then he did this. He did something very similar, and we actually conceded a goal maybe 5 to 10 minutes later. So Bruno, for me, if you're going to play that 10 role, you have to be comfortable receiving the ball under pressure. You've got to be able to ride challenges. You've got to be able to protect the ball. If you can't do that, that's why we can't keep. There's other reasons why we can't keep the ball. One of the reasons is Bruno's not great when he's receiving the ball in tight areas. And just to close it up, the other issue is Bruno was effective when we were playing a very counter-attacking system, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, where we had Fred, McTominay sitting deep, and then you get the ball to Bruno, and then Bruno will go wide to Rashford or down the line to whether it was Greenwood, Garnacho, whatever, when we're playing a counter-attacking system. But if we want to keep the ball, play the ball in tight areas, make good, small, smart decisions, Bruno ain't that guy. And that's why he's been struggling for 12 to 24 months. We're watching it with our eyes. And if he didn't have a good 18 months, the first 18 months when he joined United, we would go, this has been a horrible signing. And for that reason, I think Mount's a much better option for us than Bruno. But he's not the perfect option, but he's a better option than Bruno.
It's an interesting conversation. It's open to everyone on the platform here now. I mean, Bruno or Mount, you know what I mean? Are we saying Mount, you know what I mean, over Bruno? I mean, the problem is with Bruno, at least he gets you the GA. The problem with Mount, he don't get you the GA. He's more off the ball. You know what I'm saying? I don't even see really Mount as a 10, if I'm being honest with you. Has he really shelled out in a 10 role? I think his best season might have been 2021 season or 21-22, quite right remember. But this problem, chat to me. What are you saying, man? That just in general, that one, and then obviously your overall opinion on Mount and where we fit in.
Listen, on the Bruno and Mount comparison, I think Bruno is comfortably a better player. I think a lot of the times as fans, we have to sometimes step back and realize how much does the instruction of the coach and what the team needs at that point impact our view of the player. So for Bruno, right, for the past 5-6 months, we've been a really vertical team. We've tried to fight for second balls. We've gone long a
I think it
lot.
might be
We've
audio. Is anyone's
bypassed.
audio messed up?
I can hear it. It's like I can hear it as well.
It's cracking.
It's
Your audio's
static.
cracking. This. Yeah, it's static. It's
Cracking?
static. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it just me?
No, it's been like that this whole time.
Yeah, go
Is
ahead
it
again.
Better now? Better now?
No, it's
No.
not.
bro.
Same.
Do you have
No.
another microphone?
Okay, wait.
Yeah, it might just
Yeah,
because of
one
the
second.
microphone. Yeah. You know what it is, yeah? I look at, you know what it is? I don't know. With Mason Mount, yeah, it's one of them where has he got that star quality, that star ability that
No,
could come into this team?
no.
That's not who he is.
No.
That's not who he is.
Yeah.
Saeed, you know what he is? Just a good option off the bench. He's a good option.
I think he's more than that. That's unfair. I think he.
Saeed, we've all been around for a long time. Now,
Yep.
we win a Premier League, yes or no, people? And this is not me being contradicting or nothing. This is just, let's get reality here, yeah? We've been about, most of us anyways, think of the players. The Sir Alex Ferguson era is done. The man managements are falling down the drain, yeah? It's all done. The tactics and stuff like that, systems, great. Does Mason Mount go and win you a Premier League by being a starter all season?
Yes.
Nah.
For a Klopp, how many Klopps are there out there? Not many. And also, let's say
Can you
the only
hear me
thing that
now?
he can probably get you is maybe an option to use in the Champions League max. But is he a Champions League type player where you think it these days, not the Chelsea anomaly to go and get you a Champions League? Probably not. That's all I'm trying to say, innit? 50 million, Said, we've got to rate it next season because guess what? He's not being available this season. He needs to make it up to us. That's the question. Is he better than Bruno? I hate Bruno. He's the worst player I've ever seen, like in a Man United shirt. Tell a lie, he's not. But he's better than Mount, man. That's what we doing here. Come on, people, man.
Can I ask you for both of you, both of you guys? Yeah, you're much better. Both yourself and Zip. So, what is Bruno? What is Bruno better? What is Bruno better than Mount at? I just want to ask that question. Both of you guys have said something similar.
I think Bruno, right? If piggyback of what I was trying to say earlier, I don't know how much of it I got through, but I think as fans sometimes we have to slow down and realize how much of like the manager's instructions or like the intent of a team or like what they even need impacts how we play. So like with Bruno, right? At least for the past few months, we've been a really vertical team. We bypass build up. We try to go for second balls. So the only form of creativity, especially when we have inside forwards like Rashford or Garnacho on the side and Anthony, I don't know what he's a retention player, a negative footballer. It was all Bruno.
Yeah.
The verticality, the passing, any chance creation had to come through him being really risky. Whereas when you see him for Portugal, or even when you see him earlier, when you put him in a system, I don't think he's a counter-attacking player. I think he can play comfortably in either. When you give him a double pivot with a good ball winner, when you give him honestly, man, if you have Amadou Onana and you have Kobe Mainu behind him, Bruno as a 10, he will be less risky. He'll still play those line breakers. He'll still play the balls in behind, but he'll give you he's one of the most creative players there is. Now, Mount, on the other hand, Mount is also a good player, and I think post Bruno's like, what, 31, 30 years old right now? Mount can be a good
29,
option.
29 becoming 30 this year. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, I don't know how long Bruno's going to be at the top four. I don't know how long United's going to keep him. But I think Mount is going to be a decent option too. I think Ange brought up a good point about tight space control. Like, Mount's a different kind of 10, right? He's gonna press really hard. Obviously, off the ball, he's really good. But it's more the tight space combinations. It's more interlinking with the forwards and the midfielders moving forward. It's a different scope. So you'd need maybe a right winger with more creative potential, like say Olise instead of Garnacho, for example. Like the team dynamics also matter a lot. But I think both of them are good enough players. I think the bigger issue is defensive midfielder, center back, and obviously striker backup.
Can I debunk that a little bit further? How many games have we seen Mount play in number 10? How many open play assists or goals does he even have from even number 10? Is he really a number 10? Or is
he had a lot of positive actions at Chelsea. Like his numbers at Chelsea, he was first in like everything. He was first in a lot of the key metrics, goals, assists, second hand, like all those key metrics, XG assists. He was one or two. Like the other thing is, so I hear your point around he's going to be more like he's more risky when he plays for United because but there are some things we've all seen it where it's like, what the hell are you doing, bro? Like where he's got all the time in the ball, he's just hoofing it nowhere. And it's, you know what the other crazy thing is, for somebody so experienced and so well respected, his understanding of what to do at the right time in the game is terrible. We'll be like 1-0 up or 2-1 up, and it's the 90th minute, and he'll do some really dumb shit. Like his game understanding, it's like, actually, you're not actually thinking. That's a massive red flag. That tells me you're not actually thinking about where we are. And like even the Liverpool game, yeah, he almost lost it for us. He started losing his head in the second half, and I'm like, what's happening? And he almost got a red card. Like, so his understanding of where he is in the game, what he needs to do. Should I hoof the ball long, or we're 2-1 up? Let's take control. Like his general understanding is not there. Like I think he's one of the most overrated players we've ever had. One of the most overrated players we've ever had. Like I don't rate it. I like his general demeanor on there. Like he gets so lost in the game, which I don't mind if a player gets lost in the game. I mean, that's a good sign. But he gets so lost in he can't control himself, and that's when the ball starts hoofing. He'll start arguing with the ref. One of the most overrated players we've ever had, no doubt about that.
100%. And you know what is with these players? A lot of the players that we have, they all like to hang to the left-hand side as well more time than they do the right. Like Mount, left wing, right wing, mainly on the left. Whether it's him or Pulisic, if not Kai Havertz, who's down on the right or in the middle sometimes. They'd all like to hang on the left. We got no players that like to hang on the right except for Delo. And even then, it's
because they're right-footed and they want to cut in like that.
All the time. We just don't have no natural pace there. I just don't think someone like Mount, I think Mount, with his persona, the whole point he left Chelsea and everything was for something new, right? And I just thought with Mount, he'll be, if he's got a good team around him, I think he'd be happy to be switching in and around off the bench. Bruno, not really, because he rates himself and he's got himself an 88 card on FIFA nowadays, so he probably thinks he's better than everybody else. So, my opinion is just they're like the same player for me. They both give away the ball loads. One's a little bit more tied in than the other, and the other one's a little bit more effective. It's just they're both weak. I just don't see it personally.
I think Said and you want to jump in, go.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the thing, right? I don't like to play Bruno defense fours. He's not one of my more favorite players on the squad. But just open question. How many of you guys have seen him consistently play for Portugal? At least ever since he's been the main guy on their team.
No, I just see highlights against Luxembourg and teams like that.
North Macedonia and like
he was good in the World Cup. He was good in the World Cup.
He's playing against semi-amateur. In big tournaments, he has not pulled up any trees. Let's be honest.
That's not true. He was good at the World Cup.
Yeah,
he was good at the World Cup.
He was great at the World Cup.
And I hate the narrative that he's like
friendlies against top FIFA squads too. The thing is, right, what I'm trying to point to, even when he played against better ranked teams, even in the FIFA 10, he had great performances. He was their best player. And think of the players they have: Bernardo Silva, Rafa Leao. They have obviously Cristiano Ronaldo playing up there sometimes. It's a different function. Players are asked to do different things. That's why they behave a different way. The reason why Bruno is less aggressive, he doesn't seem... Obviously, he has bad tendencies. Like, when the game is hectic, people fall into their bad behaviors, and that's what Bruno does. Like, the Liverpool game you're talking about, Eng, that's what he falls into. I'm not defending him for that. But when you have Bernardo Silva next to him, it's the same function of a controlling midfielder, a guy who's going to set the tempo, who's going to slow the game down when it needs to be a little more controlled. Have Kobe Mainoo do it. When we have the personnel to fit into even a possession, transition, whatever you want to do, Bruno's just his pure ability to create out of nothing, his vision, his ball striking. That is something that will never be lost in the system no matter what. What you can do, though, is use other players to cover his weaknesses. He's not going to be even De Bruyne is the same way. He's not going to be controlling a game for you. He's a final ball player. So I think we got to understand him through the scope of what the team wants him to do or what Ten Hag wants him to do.
Can we stop this top boy narrative? I know Mike J said nothing. Or big up Rhino, big up yourself,
Yeah, big up. Yeah, big up Rhino.
This subject makes me so passionate about how crap I hate, how much crap I watch. Let's say whether it's with you on the East End or whether it's on the TV. Can we stop comparing this guy to because KDB comes back and gets 5 or 6. KDB can actually make strides and actually, beat a player as well. Let's stop. We need to stop this for one.
It's a good point.
It's either I think we got to focus as a debate show right now. are we focusing on building around Kobe? Because I think Kobe can be used a bit of as a luxury in that point. Or are we building around a Kobe and a Bruno? Because I don't think them two work together in a midfield unless you got a specialist of a DM.
Why?
And
Why do they not work together?
I don't think, because I think when you look at the way Kobe played on Tuesday, right, for England, you saw the people ahead of him, Jude, Foden. You saw the way that they were between the lines. Bruno, Aaron just read about. Aaron was like mix and match about Bruno. I think in terms of Bruno, I do think he can work in a possession system to a certain degree. I don't think my issue with Bruno is not his passing. It's the fact that he can't dribble. He cannot progress the ball via dribbling at all. He just can't carry the ball. That's my issue with him. And when, like, you're right, in the tight spaces, he's not good enough because he's just not technically good enough in terms of that. So you look at Kobe, you saw the way he was fizzing the ball to Foden, who glides between the pockets. You see Jude, who's amazing between the pockets. I want a player like that next to Kobe, because Kobe's gonna find them, and then once that player is in the pockets and he beats his man, then you have the advantage in attack. Whether that could be potentially, I like to see Ahmad get a little trial run in that, because I think Ahmad's good between the pockets. Yes. Number 10s in the world, you look at, I think a Gibbs White could work in that. I think a Paqueta could work in that. Those kind of players. I think United, as much in terms of Bruno, I say this. I don't think he's been a mixed signing. Like, he started really well. We had the ups and downs, but I think United have now moved past Bruno Fernandes. He's hit the ceiling at Man United, and now it's time to go a new direction in terms of what we need next to Kobe, and obviously the number 6 as well. We have to address both positions, in my opinion. I think they're both a must priority, because Bruno, the age, he's only 30, but I generally believe once Bruno gets that first injury, he's cooked, because he has avoided injury for his whole career. Once you get that first injury, and he's already athletically limited, what happens when he finally gets that? What happens when the legs aren't there for him to be able to be the press, for example, stuff like that? So I think United really need to start looking at life post Bruno. Maybe it's not this summer, right? But by next summer, it has to be addressed, because I think the way that United have to move, when you have a midfielder like Kobe Mainoo, for example, you need to get him a new midfield partner next to him, not in just a number 6, but it doesn't have to be a 10, advanced 8, whatever you want to call it. Just someone next to him in the advanced areas that is so good between the lines, because Kobe can do the second phase work. You just have to get him a third phase guy that can actually do different parts. For me, Bruno, I'm not gonna lie, in the past year, Bruno's best play has come in the second phase. It hasn't even come in the third phase, because he talked about it last year. Remember that game that week against Brentford or Everton at Old Trafford? Bruno played as a 6. Yeah. Those were his 2 best performances last year when he was dictating the game from deep. And
he said that was one of my best performances ever, that Everton game.
Yeah, because he was pinging the ball left and right. He was amazing.
Yeah.
You know why? Because the game was in front of him the whole time. He didn't have to receive the ball.
Thank you.
And the thing is, I agree with that. Also, like, he wasn't receiving the ball, because when you're playing further forward, you've got 3-4 players on top of you. You've got to make really quick decisions. You've got to be able to shift your body. He didn't have to do any of that. The game, like you said, the game was in front of him. He had all the time in the world. It's an easier place to play. When you're further up, it's congested. You've got 4 or 5 players around you. You've got to be able to twist and turn your body. You've got to be able to manipulate the ball. They're not his skill sets, and that's what he's been playing. If we're playing in a counter-attack system, you could just bang it up top, kick it to Rashford. It's a much easier game. So when people say he can play in a possession-based system, articulate for me, how does that work? Well, what are his skill sets? What does he have? What does he have that's going to allow him to play in a possession-based system? Well, what are the skill sets? Articulate it.
I hear all of this. Listen, look. Word to flawless, yeah. Bruno and Mount are 2 cheeks of the same ass. That's it. Literally, 2 cheeks of the same ass.
You sound like George Galloway. Yeah. You sound like George Galloway, bro.
But listen, don't get twisted. At the end of the day, if you simplify Bruno's game, you get a better ball out of him. Don't get twisted. When you put him in the right system, you can get at least 30% out of him, which Ten Hag's not doing. We've seen a lot of examples of Bruno excelling in a good way, giving us strong 7.5 out of 10, maybe 8s. So I'm not disputing that, but my thing is, with Mount, we haven't seen enough. The sample size is very small. Fair enough, cool. And we've also got doubts anyway, because we don't know how he's going to turn up. And I just feel like he's on this PR thing. I think Mount has literally come to this club and he's just at double M7, just on this PR, taking pictures in boxes and doing all these mad things, bro. That's what Mount cares about, the commercial aspect. Maybe we might see on the pitch, he gave us that assist from a corner. Fair enough, thank you, well done. But we're not seeing enough.
So what are you saying? He doesn't love football? What are you saying?
I don't know what it is, man. I can't be unfair to him because we haven't seen enough at the end of the day. But at the same time, I just feel like his priorities just seem all over the place. With this Bruno conversation, I was sticking up for Bruno. A lot of people were telling me, Rhino, Bruno's dead, man. What's wrong with you? I was on this whole, let's play him in the system. I said the whole, look at him in an international team. I said all of that, which is right, you know. He balls up for Portugal, you know. Put the right midfielders around him, put in the right system, you get a good Bruno, you know. But I don't know if Cass said it earlier. I feel like Bruno's just past his time, man. I feel like, yes, we can get him in the right, Mike's. We can get him in the right, we can get more out of him. But because we're making him our captain and because we're trying to play through him, we give him. I feel like Ten Hag gives him free roam. Him and Rashford have free roam in this team. They don't have no instructions. It's just gas up the players and do what you like. And I feel like when Bruno was playing as an 8, when he was playing as kind of like a deep line playmaker, he was good. I admit that. But I just feel like at this time, if we don't have no vision for him, why keep him in it? If we don't have no direction or place for him,
wait, hold on.
What do you say, Cass?
He would be. I think Bruno could be valuable to us in.
Yeah, he could be definitely.
But the only way I can see the whole thing, how do we fit in Mount? There's only you know what? Agree to disagree. I think the only way you fit in Mount and a Bruno or whatever is Mount on the right hand side. I think he could offer us something that we don't have sometimes. Which when the ball does go up, a little bit of control and someone that doesn't always want to run in behind, it might suit more of a Rashford because of his energy getting back. But does it limit us on the counter?
Yeah.
Other than a Rashford, it might work with a Mount on the right hand side, and he can pick out a better pass than what Garnacho can, let alone Anthony. So that's the only way I think we're in. But it's still meaty. Do you know what I mean?
No. The technical level. Can I go to this point? You want to challenge Ange on a point. So go back to that point. You're gonna challenge him on.
Okay. Listen, the technical thing. I hear what Griggs is saying about receiving between the pockets, but I think the England comparison is just wrong, especially if you compare it to United play. The reason why Manu can rise up, the reason why England was trying to play through the lines is because they have Jude. It's because they have Foden. And look at the people that they had on the wings. What was it? Gordon for one game, and then I forgot who the other one. Whereas United, right?
Bowen.
United has 2 in-behind threats. United has 2 inside forwards. United is primarily going to be attacking the final third and creating threat from wide areas. So what do you need? You need someone with an expansive passing range. That is someone like Bruno. If you want to do pocket play, then you can solve that with another position dropping in. Like Rashford is becoming a really good ball carrier in the half space. If Garnacho or the type of profile I'm thinking for the right wing, right, is an Elise type player. A guy who's comfortable dropping in, a guy who's comfortable linking in, who can also allow Dalot on the overlap. But the thing is, right, saying like just Bruno is just like going to be good in like a deeper area or he can't like hack it at the 10. I think that just ignores how United plays versus what other teams' strengths are. Bruno as a player, I don't even think he's like a top 5 concern for United. There are so many other things we have to address before him. Our the way that we attack a final third, the tactics behind that is a complete joke. Like we are so reliant on individual ability. Like Ten Hag just says, "Hey, switch it to the far side, winger do a take on, and then pray." I just don't think it's sustainable. And Bruno is like, we need a 6, we need center backs, we need a legit like wing threat, goal threat. Like it's so many things before Bruno for me.
But do you know what it is as well? Just to carry on from that point you made, Z, yeah? I just feel like when we do have the chances of seeing Bruno take a good shot, he doesn't even get on target nowadays. So that those good attributes that we saw of Bruno before, I feel like he's digressed a bit. Maybe that could be because of him aging, or that could be because of coaching. But when he has a shot in front of goal, when he has a good chance to give us a good moment, he flops it. So that's where my concern is. I feel like maybe he might be going downhill now. And
I've got another point on top of this. After you go on, Ange, go on. I spoke. Go on.
No, I was just going to add quickly. Like, if you have if you have a look at his shots when he first came to United, and have a look at his shots now, he's lost all his power. He's lost all his power. And it's a complete.
What situations is he arriving in the box to take those shots though?
Certain times when he's got loads of space and he's just whacking the ball and it's just not on target.
I have no faith ever. If the
when he was like the most effective, when he was the most effective for United as a goal scorer. No, I'm not talking about back. I'm just saying, in what situations was he attacking the box and scoring? Was it a transition
No,
situation?
but it was a lot of transition, but a lot of cutbacks. But the point
Yeah,
being,
cutbacks. Yeah,
in all situations now, I have zero faith in him making the goalkeeper work. I don't have faith. I think he's going to fluff
the
it.
closest he's had, is when he's had a free kick or something and he's hit the crossbar or something. Other than that, it always goes wide.
The free
Always
kick against
goes
Everton.
wide.
Everton
Yeah,
free
two good
kick.
finishes.
Free
Everton.
kick against Everton.
I
That was crazy.
I
He had
agree
the
with.
floor finish and he had the
Yeah,
Burnley finish.
I agree with my man. If we had a better system, I think maybe we failed Bruno ultimately as much as he might have failed us.
Definitely,
Because
100%.
in the box, in and around, when he had a Marcel to hold out for him and all that kind of, it was cooking, man. It was a cooking session. Pogba is the biggest thing missing for Bruno. And it goes to show the quality that we don't have anymore, right? But we're talking about building a system and all. Bro, the guy's turning 30 this year. Who's trying to build? We're trying to rebrand it yet again. Season. Who is he? Like it's over. It's over. The gimmick's over.
It's done.
It's done. Give it up.
It's done,
Saudi's
man.
calling soon, my guy. Champions League don't want to hear you no more. No one cares. Yeah. It's what it is. Go get me Eze. Go get me Morgan Gibbs White, Musiala, someone. I don't know. I don't really like Dani Olmo too much, but one thing.
No, we're going to talk about. That's what I was going to say. I wanted to discuss that. That's perfect segue, guys. Please like the video, man. The algorithm right now, it's not feeling it right now. So everyone, hit the like button. It will get the numbers up, and more people will see the stream. Dani Olmo, guys. Let's discuss Dani Olmo. Latest is that Man United and Real Madrid among the club maintaining a watching brief on Dani Olmo. The 25-year-old has a clause that becomes active where he can leave for Leipzig. Leave Leipzig for 52 million. Dani Olmo. He's 25, 26 in May. Good age. Another one that I would say, Griggs, Wingfielder. You know what I mean? I need to start with Griggs first. Wingfielder. I'm telling you now, we're getting linked to Griggs' star men. You know what I'm saying? Griggs chapters, man. Dani Olmo. You know what I'm saying?
I call him Dani Olmic because he played in Zagreb in Croatia. But yeah, he's a decent player. First of all, his injury record is absolutely horrific. That's the first issue.
Oh yeah,
the guy gets
red
crazy. It's actually terrible. He can play. Obviously, he's on the right wing kind of stuff. Leipzig. The thing about a Leipzig player, right? Because when I think Olmo started under Nagelsmann has played so many different formations that I don't even know what formation. Like I've seen a 4-4-2, I've seen a 4-2-3-1, I've seen like a 3 something. They play so many different formations, which is a good for him because he can play on the wing, he can play in the midfield. I think he's like kind of like that right, like a right attacking midfielder. If I had to really profile him, so like let's say for example, right, we got in a Nagelsmann, right, or Amarim, and those guys that play 3-4-3, right. Olmo can work there. He could be that right AM right behind the striker. I think he could do that. But I'm gonna be real. We have a better talent at home in Ahmad, who I think is maybe we could kind of say a similar profile. I'd rather just see what he could do instead of spending 50 mil on another guy like similar. Obviously, he's better than Mason Mount in terms of he's got more end products. He's a better dribbler and stuff like that. He's cold technically. Don't get it twisted. But I can't depend on him for his health, and I don't want to spend 50 mil on that. I'm not gonna lie. We have like Zim said, we have much bigger positions to address than getting a Dani Olmo. Like if we're gonna go for that right hand side, obviously Pedro Neto was my first choice, but the hamstring injuries got to us, so we can't be looking at that no more. But Olise is gonna most likely be the option, so I'd rather sign Olise for I think it's gonna be a similar price because he offers me something different than what an Olmo would do personally.
All right, please. Why are we signing a left-footed version of Mason Mount? Pretty much like we've got enough.
A bit more refined.
It's better technically, and Bruno might have a little bit of a bet, but why? Like, why does this club like to? I don't know if it's true or not, Saeed, but why do we like to identify things that we don't need? Like, that's what he's gonna say. We got an Ahmad, we've got all these man. What's the point, man? The guys, let's be honest, Dani Olmo's mid. He's not like, bro. He's not that good. Like he's good.
You want to say he's mid? I want to say he's mid.
You know what I look at him? I look at him and it's Fabio Vieira all over again.
Shit.
It is. It's literally the same. It's the same player. It's the same player.
There's one midfielder from Leipzig. If you're gonna go to, I mean, technically he's not really Leipzig's player, but there's one player on that team that's in that range, and it's Xavi Simons. If you go get him, then no one talks. Anyone else from Leipzig, I'm good off that, man.
Man. We can
it's true though. Yeah, I think Listen, man, he's technically that's what it is with me. I want technical ballers, man, and this guy technically can keep the ball. You know what I'm saying to tight spaces. You know what I mean. This is what I need, man. I don't want players that are just running around. Yeah, he can be that pressing machine and whatnot, but I need ballers, man. And if he's a baller, like I said, I've watched him at Leipzig and whatnot.
Saeed,
and
do you know what it is
Champions
though,
Leagues.
broski? Yeah, do you know what it is for me though? I don't know much about him, but it goes back to the whole injury crisis because look at someone like Martial, technically gifted but not available. So I don't want to put us in a position where we're just signing players that are going to be likely to be injury prone and that. I think we need to try and stay away from that. I hear you though. I want us to be keeping the ball and have some technical security, especially within the midfield and up top. But yeah, man, this injury thing. Now look at all the players we've signed and they've come in injured. So I've just got some PTSD from that now, man. To be fair,
we need more than that.
opinion.
We lack proper athletic players, like a bit of PNP. The thing is, we lack technical and PNP, and that's when people want Onana, like Onana in our midfield next to Kobe. I'm like, what are you watching, man?
Myth.
Like, bro, this is a bit better version of Scott McTominay, and he's not even a DM. What, like,
Onana is a true 6.
66 games in his last 3 years, by the way.
No, it's not a 6. He was last. I get it. He got put in a 6 last year. What happened when he played 6 against us? And yes, he's young, but that's what we said about Scott McTominay. Just to find out he's just a better player. It's the same
I
thing.
feel like he's a 4. He's an old school.
He's
4,
better than
bro.
McTominay, bro. He's better than McTominay. He's much better than.
Come on, man.
He's a physical
It's
beast.
a completely different profile, though. A completely different profile. Amadou Onana is like a monster athlete. He's like a.
Your mic's again.
Is it still
Bro, the
static?
thing is, it's gone. Yeah, it's
Mike's
still static, man.
bugging.
You might as well keep
You
the
might have
other
to
one.
plug it out or something. Yeah.
No, you might as well keep the other one, man.
But to his point, he's Onana's a box-to-box beast. He can get from one box to the other box. It looks like in 4 steps, But he's if you speak to listen to Everton fans, they say he's wildly inconsistent. He's unpredictable sometimes. So I'm not sure. I'm I wouldn't. I don't think I'd sign him, but he's a much better player than McTominay for sure. But we need athletes. Man. Look, as Mainu's amazing at a lot of things, but he's not an athlete. Mainu, when he's running, you're like, I wish he was a little quicker. He does everything really well.
Acceleration, but beyond that, it's like he's running with a parachute. Like it's
yeah.
He's still working his fitness still.
This is why I keep saying the name Manu Kone.
Yeah,
Manu.
Go watch some.
Manu Kone, we last time in 2022, bro. It's clear.
It's still available. It's still available. It's not about
Hold on.
It's not about who's the hottest prospect right now. It's about going to do some proper scouting for things that we don't have. An athlete that's actually got
profiles.
Profiling.
Well,
That's
Onana. That's
the latest hot topic. The thing is, I rate Onana's physicals, and I think he would. Let's say when Arsenal, I think he'd cook. But for us, for what we need, it doesn't cook.
That's true. That's true.
Why would he? Why would he?
Wait, no, he's exactly what we need, though. Like,
because they've got technical security everywhere.
No, we should get it on one page. What does the United midfield need?
Odegaard.
But I just want to say,
What does the United midfield need?
Not Bruno.
It does need athleticism. I think it does need that robustness in terms of athlete. It does. But the problem is, though, I think he hasn't got the basis of a technical team just yet to kind of mask. And you got Dani. Don't get me wrong, Kobe Mino's there, but everyone else, you relied on Kobe Mino.
United are never gonna have a midfield. We're never gonna have a midfield that's like a Man City midfield. Right?
Exactly.
That's never gonna be us.
Why not? Why not? Why do you say that?
That's never gonna happen at Man United. We don't have Pep Guardiola that's gonna walk through the doors and demand that kind of midfield. Pep Guardiola is the only guy in world football that coaches that kind of midfield. Because look at Arteta, right? Arteta is his disciple, and he does not coach that midfield. He has Rice. Arteta wants Onana, who most people call a shin.
Yeah.
He wants these physical guys that aren't that great on the ball, but they're top level athletes. They're 0.1% athlete in the Premier League.
Well, Pep wanted Rice. Didn't Pep want Rice?
He's a manager, right?
Yeah, Pep did want Rice, but Rice is good technically. But the thing is, I think he fooled me as well.
Rice is not that better technically than Onana.
I think you guys are. I think you guys are really underrating Onana's technique. Like we're not looking for.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think listen, with Onana, right? we're not looking for him to be the guy who's going to be the first touch out the back, building it through the team. That's Mainu. What we need right now, what we need so desperately, because think about it, right? The reason why there's such a massive hole is because not only do we not have athletes in the back line, but once we do get those athletes, once we can push up, there's smaller spaces. That means dueling is more important. That means being stronger than your opposition is more important. So we need the number one thing is getting a great ball winner. Onana is going to be one of the, if not already, is one of the best ball winners in the league. And you already have, and technically, he's massively underrated. He can carry decently well. He rides off challenges. Back to goal play is all right. Like, you're not going to get like so many better sixes that do that, but we don't need him to do that because Mainu's going to be playing in that double pivot next to him. It's more about the defensive side of the game that we need.
I agree.
Mainu needs bouncer. That's as simple as that, bro. Mainu needs his bouncer. That's all not.
Sorry, did you want to go first?
No, go for it. Go for it.
You know why this is flawed? Because we got sold a dream about some of our players the same way. Everton play low block counter attack, so you're obviously going to be really good at ball winning and everything. You're going to look good defensively. Chris Smalling looked good defensively under LVG when we played a bit of a low block counter attack and a pass system. The thing is, it's about when we go further forward as well. Yeah, don't get me wrong. You don't want your six to always do that, and you want him to be your six more than Kobe. I don't look at Kobe as a guy that's going to unlock a midfield, a defense either. That's why I say it's such a tricky situation. Like Douglas Luiz probably would be perfect, but for me, it's just I don't see that in a Nana. That's just personally, but I think you got obviously.
What are you trying to get from your six in possession?
We want to be in a place, in my opinion, as fans, where we see us controlling the games more time than less. And obviously, when we get to that situation, we just don't look clueless. So when I look at my 8. And my 6, this is why I say it's such a specialist position because we've got a Kobe. That's why and we've got a Bruno at this moment of time. That's why I don't look at Nana as the guy that's going to do much for us. He may be a building blocker for Nana and maybe becomes that guy and shuts me up and shuts everyone up or whatever. I'm sick of potential. I need something now.
But one second.
The other thing with Onana,
didn't we already say that like
he's not a 6 anyway?
Well, so Everton spent 40 million on him to get him from the French league. That means they're gonna want a significant profit on that purchase price. They're gonna want at least 70 million. The other thing we do need, so Mainu's like he's not short, but he's not tall. If you've got Mainu in the team and your other central defender is Martinez, you need to get a tall midfielder to partner Mainu. Otherwise, we're gonna have a short team and we're gonna get dominated in both boxes for corners, crosses, all that stuff. So you need somebody that's got a huge presence. Casemiro, like Casemiro, like Onana, but somebody that's also technically good as well. Like it's interesting. I think having listened to Sir Jim Ratcliffe talk, I think we're going to start looking for those really cheap options from like the South America market, those obscure markets that we haven't heard of, because he's talking about, hey, I want to find value. I think he'll look at it as a badge of honor to sign somebody that no one's heard of. Yeah. And then he turns out to be an $80 million player, a $100 million player. Instead, throughout our recent history, we just sign the obvious player and then they end up flopping or it doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. I think what he's going to look for is those, like, we're linked to this defender from Argentina. We might be looking in the other South American markets or in the French league, wherever. I think he's going to look for those bargains instead of splashing $70-80 million on a midfielder.
Man,
I don't think so.
Well, how much bread do you think Onana's worth for you, lot? What are you saying?
70 million. 70 million.
No,
50 max.
They bought him for 40, Said. They bought him for 40.
40 million max.
They bought him for 40. They're going to want a profit.
They want to
He'll go for 60.
They're broke. They're in the relegation zone. They're in the relegation zone. They're broke. They have to make up money somehow. So they have two pieces, Branthwaite and Onana. I think both are going to go for around 60. So United obviously have to pick between one or the other, right? In my opinion, I think.
Who would you pick? Who would you pick? Go on, Grizz. Go on. If you have to choose one, Branthwaite or Onana.
As much as I love Jared Branthwaite, I'm one of his biggest supporters. I personally think the center back market is much deeper.
That's fair. That's fair.
There's a lot of good young center backs out there. I can go get Eleni Yor, for example.
Todibo.
Branthwaite, man. I agree. Imagine we end up playing a back three Imagine we end up playing a back three for whatever manager we get, yeah, and we need that third, and we want someone to cover the wide areas. I don't mind Lissandro in the middle.
Yeah.
You might have a Tadibo on the right. What's the not they're gonna do in that build up? What, go long? I mean, playing the same football.
If you build up in that back three, you're not gonna need Onana in the build up because you have the back three building up.
And then when
that's true.
I don't think United are gonna go for a 6 that's just like highly technical player. They want, like I said, the bouncer. They want the guy that's just gonna clean up, and that's what Onana is. He's there to clean up. He's there to clean up, and then he's gonna lay the ball off to Maino, and then Kobe Maino.
That's a clean up.
Let me ask you this:
do your thing.
do you think?
Go do your thing, bro. That's what you're gonna do.
Hey, Mike, Brexit means Brexit. We want British players in Man United. Bramford over Onana.
Bro, that's what you're getting that Tosin guy from Fulham. Free signing. There you go. There's your
Do you think? Do you think João Neves and Mainu could work, or is it too small, too slow?
I'm not having a under 6 foot pivot in the Premier League, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And also for 100 M's at Benfica, also we have to protest against signing from Benfica. They're trying to like rob people over there.
They do, man. They do.
Bro, they're trying to rob.
I ain't trying to get robbed no more. No more robberies, man.
He's a beautiful footballer, though. He's such a beautiful technical footballer, and he's a fighter, but he's too small, and he's not fast.
Who?
Neves.
The thing with
João Neves.
The thing with João Neves,
he's mainly. I love the way he plays the game, man. I love the way he plays the game. Like, he's so technical, and he's a fighter for his size. Like, I watch heaps of videos on him. He's a fighter. He's a bull. Technically, so gifted, like a Mainu. But if you have him and Mainu in central midfield, I feel like we might get dominated a little bit, but who knows? Who knows? If we get the right coach, that would be amazing.
But the thing is, João Neves is like a redundant player. His profile is in this team scarily similar to Mainu. Obviously, he's like better out of possession, better awareness, better tackler, and in possession he could be better as well. But I think we should set up, like, moving forward. This is what I'm saying. Like, the Onana signing would be something that would set up our midfield post Bruno. We need some. Remember, this guy's 22. He's one of the best athletes in the entire Prem, and we need someone who's going to do the dirty work. If we're going to sign
he's only 22,
at this age, he's only 22.
Yeah.
Why are we going to still do? Why are we still going to spend 100 million on 22-year-olds? It's 100 million not for remake players. Douglas Luiz. No, because that's what they want. That's what
he's
they want.
better. He's better at 6 than Douglas Luiz.
I doubt they want him.
He's better.
I don't want 100 million. You know what I don't want? You know what I don't want? Yeah. You know what I don't want? Yeah. I don't want people when they sign Onana. Yeah. I know this United fan base. Yeah. I know them very, very well. They're gonna start slating him. Yeah. This guy can't control the ball. He's not good in possession. He's always panicking on the ball. The same thing they do with Casemiro, when we misprofile them. Yeah. And he's getting the ball and he's been told, "Yo, get the ball on the edge of the D and do that."
That's because of Ten Hag, though.
Onana is not going to be attempting 80-yard long balls instead of just laying it off.
To do with him? If Ten Hag going to be here, what's he going to do with him?
That's why. Hopefully Ten Hag out.
Onana's not even going to attempt the 80-yard pass because he can't do them. He don't. Casemiro, I'm telling you, Casemiro came to Man United, and then there's an evil side in his consciousness that tells him, "Go launch the ball." Maybe it's Bruno whispering it to him. I don't know who it is, but someone's telling him to keep launching the ball. Maybe it's Ten Hag, bro. I don't know who it is.
It's coaching, bro. It's coaching. 100%.
A roulette marked by 3 men as my number 6 is a crime against the sport of football.
I want my number 6 to be
a destroyer, clean up the ball, and give it to the better players. Balance. Give it to Dalo, give it to Licha, give it to whoever the left back is, give it to Mainu, give it to Bruno, whoever the number 10 is. Just lay the ball off because Onana is a very safe footballer. He's a very safe footballer. I think he's like 95% pass accuracy. He doesn't attempt that much like risky passes. He lays it off. The only time he'll really progress the ball is via ball carrying because he's like 6'5".
Who's that?
Strides like a gazelle.
You can't afford to be that though, man.
I know. Why can't he afford to be that? Declan Rice is Arsenal.
Of McTominay.
No.
How you just described to me McTominay?
No, because McTominay can't carry the ball.
No. And McTominay is like so poor defensively as well.
He can't win the ball back like Onana.
Look
at the way that Onana was tracking down Jude on Tuesday. Look at the way that he wins the ball back from midfielders. It's like it's easy with him.
I liked him in that game. He was good against. He was trying to dominate Jude and Rice.
Do you know what my concern is though? I just feel like when we start doing this thing where we start scoping players we've played against and look what they did against United, like, and then they come to United and they're just dead. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I get when I think
agree
about
with that.
Onana. I feel like I don't know how it's gonna deal with the United pressure. Yeah, bro, it just feels like, man.
This is why I like certain profiles like Coop Miners. I would love that guy at Man United as well. Box to box, can play DM, and it's a bit of a hybrid 8 if need be. Yeah, it can swap with Kobe if need be, depending. Pick up the ball.
Where's the dog in that midfield?
No,
where's my physical presence?
No one. That's why I say profile. Can we say some proper profiles?
To play against Brentford, and he's getting bullied out the park in 90 minutes.
Not for me.
He ain't lasting Brentford away.
All right, I'm just saying, Coop Miners, whether it's Manu Cone, I'm just saying some profiles that we kind of need. Even, you know who I actually like? The guy from, is it João Gomez?
I hear that more.
From Wolves?
Kamara. I'll take Kamara.
Yeah, apparently we're tracking him.
Kamara as well. I'll take Kamara. He got them for free. He got them for free. It's pure profit for them. Like people like this. David, please give it up. And Didi, come on, man. This is 2024.
All right, who said that?
I'd rather keep McTominay.
That's crazy.
I should time him out, fam.
Bro, that is a timeout, man. And Didi, you know, what are we doing here, man? That's crazy. That is crazy.
It's got to be a decent list for us, man. It's got to be decent. You got to have something.
Well, is this from? You're the one in it. You're the one that obviously you do the scouting and that. You know what I mean? Like, is Onana for you? You're saying to me, Onana is your number one priority ahead of the Dani Olmos and the other guys that you made me thinking. You know what? This is the guy.
Easily. Okay, I'm not like 100% set on Onana, right? But the idea that we need this extremely technical pivot that's just gonna come in here, save the day, and like completely bring United to the top.
Your gain's really high, by the way. Your gain,
man.
One second. I know. I agree.
Technical.
Hear me out. This guy wants Bruno, and he likes Bruno to keep him enough. Yeah, he wants Manu, and then he wants an Onana in the midfield. Tell me the difference. What we're seeing this year when Scott.
Oh my God! No! You're trolling. You're trolling.
Wait. I mean, I don't want Bruno in my midfield.
Liverpool come to our. Hear me out. Yeah, Liverpool come to our gaff, or we go to theirs. Yeah, we go to Man City and come to ours. What's the difference? Except a little bit more running. They're still popping us.
Okay. The biggest argument against this is the mic. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
All good.
The biggest argument against this is Mikel Arteta wanting Onana in his midfield. I know you guys are saying Arsenal want. No. Listen. Hear me out. No.
Respectfully.
Oh, even though Arsenal obviously want athleticism, they want to be defensively elite to control a team. They need technicality in their midfield. And the fact that a bunch of scouts, the fact that Arsenal scouts, their sporting director, see Onana as someone who can comfortably receive and help them in build-up means that it is greater than a standard that we already have at United.
So what? You look up to Arsenal, yeah? This is what I'm hearing right now. You're just looking up to Arsenal.
Right, no, it's that when people.
If we don't say Arsenal is better than us right now, if we don't say they're in a better position, then we're just lying to ourselves.
Yeah, but are you looking up to Arsenal though? We don't play like. Are you trying to play like how Arsenal play? That's what I'm asking.
Obviously, what? They're gonna be like.
I think we're trying to argue is that like obviously we look at Arsenal as this like technical team, stuff like that, possession, and they want Onana, right? So you can't really use that argument of like the possession. He doesn't fit a possession.
It's straight disrespectful to compare him to McTominay. That he's not like that at all, man. You're looking at one of the best defensive sixes in the world. Like that is what he is.
Man said McTominay with melanin.
He's not even a 6. He plays further forward than James Garner and that.
That's because Everton need that. He's easily a 6 for United. It's about the way that he's used.
If we're signing him to play a lone 6, then I'm off that. I don't want him playing as a lone 6.
No, not a lone 6.
Desperate, man. Then we're desperate, man. We're just desperate at this point.
But he is literally a perfect midfield partner for a Manu. He offers everything that allows Manu to be elite in possession. Everything.
What?
What do you disagree with? What do you disagree with?
No.
I'll explain.
You know what? Sometimes I'm kind of debunking what you're trying to say, and I'm trying to gather in your point, and which is fine to be fair. Everyone can think the way they want. I'm not gonna try to trigger you about your own opinion, right? I'm just trying to gather in it. Like for me, all you just described to me is McTominay, someone who's tall, who's a bit bulky, looks like he can win the ball, and guess what? He can win headers. So let's stick him in the 6. It's like back in the day, yeah. You see a tall. You know what happened when I was in school? You know, there might be a baller, he might be a good striker, but guess what the PE teacher does, or the coach does if you go when you go for trials? They see someone that's tall, they see someone that looks strong. Oh yeah, getting centre back. That's what it looks like.
But the thing is, right? The thing is, McTominay.
You went as a six last year. Where were Everton? They're fighting.
The thing is, right?
Sorry,
the McTominay comparison. The McTominay comparison, I just don't get, because not only does McTominay's defensive awareness, it's not even close. Not only the fact that his first step, his actual engage on the challenge, not even close. His actual quality in tackling is not even close. Like, they're not, like, I say this with zero exaggeration. Amadou Onana is 10 times the defender that McTominay is. 10 times.
It's not hard to be better than McTominay. I'm just saying it's just a similar profile. That's why I said.
So what? What do you see, McTominay? Do you see Onana as like a Casemiro replacement, like the destroyer, someone that does the dirty work? That's what you're looking at.
Bro. He's the bouncer to a Kobe.
Yeah.
He's the bouncer to Kobe, bro. He's cleaning up.
I mean, he's up the levels, bro. He's got a bouncer now. That's crazy.
I'm not saying either of them are this level of player, right? They're not this level. Onana's definitely not this level of player. But you know what Conte was to Pogba? That's what Onana needs to be to Kobe. Just do the cleanup duty, bro. Just let.
All right, listen. Pogba comparison.
Castle, what was you gonna say, Castle?
I'm not saying that. I said they're not the level of players. They're not the level of those.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
But the relationship, the dynamic of the partnership is very similar. That's what Onana needs to be to Kobe. What Conte was to Pogba in the French national team, and that was a working midfield that they never lost together. That's
to add on to that, right? To add,
I could see how he would. Out of position this year, we've been terrible. Yeah, like we're not. Yeah. I think we're even worse out of position than we are in position. Yeah, and in position, we're terrible. He would improve us out of position definitely, but I still think we can do better on the ball with that midfield. Yeah. I think we can get a better out of position player and a better technical player than Onana.
And still be physical.
Like I don't know the name. But we have to look. That's the level we have to look at. Like we can't be so.
There isn't that profile. There isn't that profile out there.
I would rather lose a little bit out of just somebody more balanced than I think. Like if we're gonna become the team we want to become, we want to be a team that's going to dominate teams on the ball. Most teams, like we might not dominate City or Arsenal. You know, hopefully we're better than we have been, but we might not dominate those teams. But for most other teams, we want to dominate them on the ball. And is Onana good enough on the ball? I don't think he is. I don't think he's good in those tight areas. I don't think he's going to switch the play. I don't think he's going to, find plays around the players in midfield. That's not who I think.
He's a box to box.
We might have buyer's remorse. We might have, if we get in, we might get buyer's remorse.
Genuinely, the biggest argument to this is the fact that Arteta was going to play an Onana Rice pivot, and you guys were saying Rice isn't technical.
Where are you getting this even more Arteta links from?
No, they were strongly linked. No, they're tier ones. Oh, even Ornstein reported that they were looking for targets, and Onana was one of the top targets.
So Z, do you want Onana to be a box to box, or do you want him to just be to be the one sitting? He just sits deep.
Yeah, he's the holding midfielder. He'd be the he'd be the deepest midfielder, and he'd also give Kobe some license to move forward.
To go forward.
I don't like this. Why? Just because Kobe's technical. Why are we relying on one? What happens when he comes out the team and gets injured or something? When that happens, then we're stuck with crap.
The thing is, I think you guys are underrating Onana's technicality, because he plays for Everton, and God, that team, Jesus. But
it's not even about that.
The thing is, he can receive back to goal decently. He can carry the ball. Arteta, there's no way Arteta would touch him with a 6-foot pole if he didn't have at least have quality in the area. And if you saw him for Belgium, if you saw some of the receptions he's making, he can easily do that role.
I have to disagree right now, because I'm just thinking, let's stop comparing to Arsenal. We don't have a Saka that. We don't have an Erdegaard. You let alone anything else. Like we don't even have the two centre backs that are just as good, really.
Let's compare to different teams.
We don't. Our Rice is. Let's call our Rice a copy. Then, if you want to do that, we don't have a team that fits in. You know what I think of? Yeah, I think of this Arsenal team, and they're one player probably, and obviously the squad from going further, even further. We're talking right to the very end, which is obviously the best goal, which is Champions League, right? That sort of squad. Onana is a good option off the bench. We need starting quality. The way I look at it, does a Kobe and Onana, if I'm thinking of, you know what? We're going to come out against Madrid in the quarterfinals of a Champions League. Guess who you have to play against? Oh, there's Bellingham, Tchouameni, Camavinga. Bro, they're getting popped around. Let's be real, they're getting popped around.
You also got Paulinho if you need to. Paulina's around.
I have a question. So
you've got-
forget the Arsenal comparison. Let's look at Liverpool's midfield, for example, right? What technical player other than McAllister plays for that midfield that's cold? Because Jabuzla is not that good technically. Let's be real. He's
Endo's decent, man. Endo's
No,
decent.
he is.
and Onana are very similar. If you look at every single metric, when you compare the two players, they are very, very similar players as what they are as a six.
Wait, Griggs, can I make a point?
So McAllister,
Wait, can I add on to this point?
Mainly's McAllister, right? McAllister's
Nah,
mainly
Endo's
very
technical,
similar.
man.
They're very
Endo is
similar.
more technical than Onana.
Bruno was very similar to Jabuzla. I think they're two hideous twins.
Yes, it was like technical.
And Endo and Onana who are pretty much, I think, in my opinion, as in what they offer as sixes, I think they're pretty similar. I think Endo obviously might be a little bit.
Is this not overrated then? Liverpool barely have any strength in their midfield.
But they still win.
Cass.
You don't need your midfield to be this uber technical midfield to win games.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
They've got technical midfield, but they don't have physicality there, and yet they're still joint points of Arsenal with having bare injuries. So why do we need
I'm
to
saying
think?
it's all about what else is surrounding you. So if you get Onana, right, but you have two ball playing center backs that are elite on the ball, you have two fullbacks that are elite on the ball. I don't need Onana to be Rodri. I need him to be the cleanup guy.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I get
where you're coming from.
But it's 70 million worth, or can you not go get that for 30 million somewhere else?
I get what he's trying to say. He's trying to say
bread.
The thing is about his level of athleticism is so much different than everyone else's. His ability to win the ball back is absolutely ridiculous.
So you
It's
need
top
that.
notch. So you're getting a guy that basically wins about 80% of his ground duels. That's a ridiculous rate.
I don't think we got the squad to be bringing in Onana in this summer window. Anyways, maybe we're gonna build him for the next summer and potentially go grab that. But I just don't.
We need midfielders, man.
You know who's going to be?
No, Cass. I actually say the opposite.
You know who's going to be?
Onana, right? If you're gonna build a team, he's 22 years old. He's gonna patch up a lot of the pressing issues we have, eat a lot of the ground and the space that we have in our midfield out of possession. And then when you replace Bruno, when you get two tall center backs that engage duels high up the pitch, when our line gets higher, when we have quality playmakers in the side, you're truly going to see the impact of him. Even from the low base level to the highest levels, he's a player that's going to consistently improve United.
So just adding on that, you know, a player we haven't mentioned, I've loved watching this year is Papa Sarr from Tottenham.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh my God, he's a beautiful. I love watching. He's a beautiful footballer, man.
Yeah, you know what? He's good. He's good. I like him. But again, he's at Tottenham, and obviously it's difficult in it to bring him in and whatnot. But I get what you mean. Listen, I think Onana. Don't get me wrong. I'm one of them where I'm not totally against it, but I'm just saying, guys, are you sure? You know, because later on down the line, I know what everyone's gonna say, and that's where I'm like, I've been here before. You know, what I mean, when we buy players, and I know they're not right for what we need right now, and then later on we end up kind of, screaming our heads off. But, yeah, you know what I mean? Stuffy, what are you saying, buddy? Good, bro. Man got a slick hair, you know. What you on though with the hairspray and that? What's going on?
Bro, I was hearing the disrespect on my guy Nana. I was like, whoa, no, hold on. I'm about to be home. Send me the link. Send me the link. Yeah, I've been talking about Nana since last summer, bro. And here we are revisiting a year later. And listen, my brother's up here.
Who's Staffy? Andre Nano.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. He ain't talking about Alba. He's talking about Andre and Nano.
Anyways, no, both Onanas are my Onanas, but no, I'm talking about the Everton one. Listen, I heard a lot of stuff. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me, Saeed. You've been talking about Casemiro being in our best midfield all season, but when we give you a better version of him next year, who can actually do the destroying job and all that stuff, all of a sudden, Saeed doesn't want that. Saeed wants someone who's good on the ball. So why were you praising Casemiro? It's not like he was good on the ball. Don't lie to me, Saeed.
Okay.
Don't lie to me, Saeed.
Very nice question. That's a very nice question. And I'll answer the question. Because you know what it is, yeah? You get Onana doing that role, yeah, and I'm telling you now, yeah, you're gonna have the same problems that you have. Yeah, he may be able to get himself out of danger, maybe in terms of athleticism, and maybe he can wriggle around danger a little bit better. But in terms of getting on the ball and doing what he has to do on the half turn in the system we're in right now. So, for example, if the manager's here, I think we'll have the same problems. If it's not here, fair enough, there may be a different plan. You know, maybe Onana doesn't have to get the ball in half turn. But I'm saying, if this manager's still here and is applying the same logic and the same principle to Onana, we're gonna have the same issues, and that's my problem. It's more the principles and the manager that's doing it rather than the player. I've not got a problem with the players.
Saeed,
let me tell you I disagree. let me just answer him real quick and I'll let you go. Let me tell you why I disagree. Every team in the league, bar maybe City, do have a player like that in the midfield. That's the same thing we said about Rice, by the way. Go back to the summer and see what people were talking about Rice.
Rice is 10 times the player, though.
He's really not. But let me tell you something about Rice. Everyone was having complaints about Rice on what? On the half turn and
what
his
did you say?
distribution.
You said Rice is not 10 times the player Onana is.
He's not. I think he's a better player, but he's not 10 times the player.
100%.
But bro, no one was saying that
We'll
last
talk about
year,
that after.
And I'll
Go on,
tell
say
you
what
why.
you're saying.
When you put his season with West Ham versus his season with Everton last season, he didn't have 10 times the season he had. So why are we saying it now that he's 10 times the player? Because he's in a better squad? All right, so put Onana in a better squad. The way you guys are talking about Onana, like we need every player in our midfield to be elite on the ball, that's a myth, bro. The only team that really tries to do that is City. But you guys are the same ones that complain about City being so boring because all they do is pass around the ball in the opposition's half. But guess what they are? They're one of the worst transition teams in the league. I'm obviously not comparing them to the bottom of the league, but when you talk about the traditional top 6 or just the top half of the table, they're one of the worst transition teams. This is why they play 4 center backs in behind, bro. Because they don't have anyone in that midfield that can win the ball the minute they lose it. Rodri is not that guy. Rodri's the type of guy to dictate the game, to pass the ball around and all that. But we don't need 2 of that. This is why I said, and I said it last summer that we needed him, but now I'm gonna say even more because we've all here watched Kobe, and I think Griggs, I was listening to you on the way home, and you said it perfectly. He is the Kante to Pogba, and we made that mistake with Pogba. We never got Pogba the right partner. When you have Kobe and you look at the attributes that he possesses, Onana's the one that complements it because he's not necessarily similar to him, but he gives up some of the attributes that Kobe doesn't have. And that's the same thing, by the way, Rice is going to do with Kobe in that midfield in England. Because I said that partnership would be perfect. Onana is very similar to Rice in terms of the attributes that they possess. They cover a lot of ground. They're very physical. They run a lot. They win the ball. And they're not that bad on the half turn. The way that you guys talk about Onana, like he actually doesn't know how to pass or he doesn't know how to receive the ball and take it, that's not true, bro. But when you look at the way they play in Everton versus the way they play, he would play at United and he would dominate the ball a little bit more, it would look a lot better. That's the same thing that happened with Rice at West Ham. Once Rice went into midfield,
disrespecting Rice, man. I can't have that.
I'm not disrespecting Rice.
Rice can take corners. Rice can play in the final third. Rice can do so much stuff. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about
Rice.
No, but
wait. Hold on. How much did you rate Rice when he was at West Ham compared to now?
They weren't talking about.
I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear that point. I don't want to hear that point because I rated Rice the same way.
Same way.
You know,
I don't believe that.
Okay, listen. Look, Rice carried West Ham. Yes or no? Just ask that question. Did Rice carry West Ham? Yes or no?
No, because they're doing just as good as without him in the league right now.
If it is, I think
so. Rice didn't carry. Rice wasn't a strong, pivotal part of West Ham. Where they got to.
We'll switch up now. You said carry.
Strong, pivotal.
When I say carry, I don't know. Maybe I've got a different definition, but I just feel like he's an anchor to West Ham. When you take the anchor away, that ship's sailing.
Man, I'd say to him, get him next season, bro.
You think?
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, look at him running the field, bro, man.
Saeed.
You know what I mean? I don't know, man.
From the Irish, though.
4 years.
You know what it is here, man? I just think that when Rice was a baller at West Ham, and I knew when he moved to Arsenal, we're going to see a lot more. We're going to see a lot more than we knew. Rather than we're going to see more attacking and defensive stuff that we didn't know that Rice had. Maybe we thought, because a lot of professional footballers, a lot of pundits said, trust me, the way Rice can progress the ball, you've seen him, he's taking the corners for Arsenal, he's doing a lot more. So what I'm saying is, what I see now when I compare him to Onana, it's like, yes, I get what you're saying about the defensive attributes, fair play, but I think Rice brings a lot more to the game.
You know what?
Rhino, when did you see that?
There's one common denominator in all of this, you know. We always talk about balance. One common denominator that we all don't like Barzy. It's Bruno Fernandes, bruv. If we had another technical baller in there, I wouldn't even mind Onana too much.
Okay, so let me ask you something, guys.
That could work, that could work.
He said that.
Listen. Wait. Give me right of reply here. Give me right to reply here.
I have a feeling you're going to say what I want to say.
We can't build a team for Ten Hag. We can't build a team for Bruno's United. We build a team for any manager under any coach under any system. That's why what I'm seeing right now is application bias. Onana plays at Everton, you only see certain attributes. That's why Onana is way less than what he actually could be. What we have to do is isolate their strongest skills, like Griggs was doing, like Staffy's doing, the ball winning, the athleticism, the speed, the physicality.
But haven't we done that loads of times?
Translate.
And when they come to United, they just go downhill.
Yeah, well, that's
saying,
again application. No, that's application though. That's application. Things are gonna go bad no matter what.
We just gotta
I don't disagree. We gotta come to terms with that. It's just that if we get the right guy in, if they're
and he fits in, yeah. I hear you.
Onana,
You're right.
People are gonna blame Onana no matter what next year if we don't get those two center backs that push the line up. Like there's a lot of things that still have to happen. But I'm just saying, a final form United he's just gonna improve the team. He's a good player.
If he's in the right system, I believe that. Right coach, I believe that.
Right now. I want to ask you guys this, because Kaz made a very good point. Let me just ask you this first before we drift away. You just said the issue is we have Bruno in that midfield. Let's pretend there's a world where we're selling Bruno and you're signing a Dani Olmo or a Xavi Simons or someone like that. Would you change your tone on how you speak about Onana because you think you have two better technical footballers in that midfield or not?
I think it would help 100%. Yeah, for sure. Like you can't have Bruno and then another not that technical player and then leave all the creative work and the technical work to Mainu. Like the keeping the ball work and using, all those other aspects of the game. If we get Bruno out of the team, it changes the type of midfield that we can start to build for sure.
So should I miss out on one of the best destroyers in the league in the next few years? Because he will be. And in 5 years, see that clip side of you talking and saying 4 years ago you wanted Rice? There's going to be another one. We're going to say
you like him that much.
4 years ago we should have gotten Onana. So you're getting.
You like him that much.
He is that good. He's really that good. I said that about him last summer. So I'm staying consistent. I stayed consistent with my take from last year into this year, and he's developed even more. The Rhino made a very good point about Rice, and he was talking about his final third attributes and what he's done this season, this Arsenal team. Now, Rhino, let me ask you this. How good was Rice in the final third when he played for West Ham? How many goals did he score? Do you remember anything? Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But see, Rhino, he didn't get that until he moved to a team that allowed him
can allow him to do that. Yeah, that's true.
Exactly, because it's a huge difference from going to West Ham, David Moyes football, to Arsenal, top of the league or contending for the league under Arteta.
But Rice brings a lot to Arsenal. A lot of people in the chat don't realize that if you take Rice out of this Arsenal team right now,
of course I agree.
It's mad.
Can I raise a point? Now? Yeah.
So you're right, stuff. I hear you.
Listen, I'm going to move on to the game as well on Brentford.
So when I mention a player that's in a struggling team to one that's a mid-table in Bundesliga called Manu Kone, called 50, who costs way less than him. Let's not stop, because you know what? One thing, I admittedly say I haven't watched as much Bundesliga, as I used to as last season, But when I have watched them, like the one against Leverkusen, and I watch that game, go watch Manu Kone then. Because guess what? He's technical, he's physical, and you don't get the ball of him, and he wins a lot of duels, bro. And he can dribble.
But Onana is like legitimately like.
No. Onana is a centre mid. This guy is actually a DM. This is what I don't understand. He's 22. He's got good highlights, 6'1", 6'4", or whatever he is. But you don't want to write it off because you ain't seen much. He's in a better team technically than Everton. But because he's in a Premier League, you don't want a 70 million thing. But when I want to highlight a profile, you want to rubbish it off like you might have even watched England back this year.
But we're not talking about that.
No.
Because we're not talking about the player versus the player. We're talking about you guys not want to go down in general.
One sec. No, when you wasn't here, I talked about Manu Kone in it, and then he got laughed at, and I was just, it kind of made me think. I think Anne said it. He doesn't know who, but it's up for the club to go and sort that out. So when Liverpool were getting linked with Manu Kone and Kefren Turan hasn't. I watched it. I watched him at the start of this year. I wasn't impressed. I don't know if he's doing better, anyways. But Manu Kone, when Liverpool won him, all the Man United fans wanted to get hot. So when another team wants to come in for him, and we're not. You're all going to get hot at the same way again. Because guess what?
But why didn't Liverpool sign him? They signed Endo instead. They had a choice.
I know, same thing, but they need a bit of experience in there. They got Gravenberch. They got a young, I suppose McAllister a bit younger at that time. Then they got Curtis Jones is still in there. Bit experience, don't get me wrong. And they still got kids in and around. Like, it wasn't a mad experience midfield when you just lost that Henderson and that. I hear it. Manu Kone is an easy deal to do. Do we not want easy, good deals? Why would we want any midfielder that's got hype anyways? We just asked for kids from South America.
But the thing is, right? The thing is, if you want to build a challenging team that's going to be elite, that's what I'm saying though. Like a signing like Kone, like he's going to be a young player, so you're probably expecting to get what 4 or 5 seasons out of him. Onana legitimately is, and I've done a video on Kone too. Like I scouted him before. Onana is legitimately like twice a defender. He's such an athletic monster. We should be building for a team that's going to be great 3 years from now, rather than just next season. We're tunnel vision again. It's not about being great immediately. You're building a project.
Staffy, address this guy, bro. You agreed with what I'm saying, but he's telling me I don't know ball, bro. Don't let me abuse my mod powers, man.
I'm just saying.
Listen.
I'm joking, but listen. Yeah, just to end off what I'm saying.
That's said in
No,
the
that's what I'm
comments.
saying is, the way it is, yeah. At the end of the day, Staffy, the same person that you're looking up to because he's following your Onana prop, he's agreed with what I'm saying. He's just preferring the attributes to what Onana can bring in terms of the fact we haven't seen it. He doesn't disregard what I'm saying in it. So please, just be fair. I don't normally like to respond to comments, but today I'm responding to each and every one of y'all. You get me? But anyway, no, 100%. At the end of the day, I agree what you lot are saying. You know, if he's put in the right system and we can get more out of him in terms of what he can do, I agree. You feel me? But just please be careful with the Rice comparisons, because I just feel like a lot of people don't realize what he brings to Arsenal still.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I want to move on quickly to the Brentford game. Yeah, there's some not bad news, but there's some interesting developments on Colby Mino. Apparently, he missed training due to illness, not fully recovered yet, but it is hope he will be fit for Brentford tomorrow. Casemiro making good progress and should be involved. Martial injury depends on him and levels he is showing. So Colby Mino could be out. I always say when it's illness, I doubt he plays. You know,
He'll be
you
there.
know what I mean. So I would assume that he's out tomorrow, which is a big blow.
I reckon
Casemiro,
the thing is, like, he was never going to play 90 minutes anyways. We got another game in like 3 days after that, and then another game like 4 days after, or something like that. Anyway,
yeah, Liverpool and thingy. Yeah.
It was always going to
Crucial week. I didn't even know the Chelsea game was on this week. You know, I genuinely thought Chelsea was after. No, I'm being serious. You know, Rhino. I didn't know we were playing Chelsea on Thursday. I'm not ready for that game, man. Even though they're
what? Who are we playing on Thursday?
Chelsea.
We're playing Chelsea away.
Swear down.
I didn't know that.
I didn't even know that myself. What, next week?
No, next week. Yeah, next week.
We're playing Chelsea away. When did they squeeze that one in? Was that a postponed game? I think that was a postponed game. Is it? I didn't even know.
You got a harder game on Saturday than Chelsea's a lot easier than Brentford.
Postponed game. No, hold on a minute. What postponed game? What do you mean, Griggs? It was a postponed game.
Sheffield United.
No, I said it's a planned game. It was a planned game. Like it was meant to happen.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, is it? I slept on that one, yeah.
And then Liverpool like 2 days later. 3 days later.
4 days. 5 actually, I think.
That's what I said now.
No, it's the 5th and then the 8th. It's the 5th and then the 8th. So it's only like 2 days.
Wait. We're playing Liverpool on a Friday.
No, Sunday.
No, Sunday.
Oh, no, my time it's Monday, but it might be different for you guys.
Yeah, your time.
No, we're playing Chelsea on Thursday. We're playing Chelsea next Thursday, and then we're playing Chelsea Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, we're playing Liverpool Sunday.
For Andy's, it's Friday.
Mine is Friday and then Monday morning. Yeah.
Yeah, why is it
Monday morning?
That fixture should be on a Wednesday. That's kind of confusing.
Yeah, I don't know why it's on Thursday.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. You know, big up to Ange, man. Big up to Australians, man. I don't know how they do it. You know, that time zone, man. Watch it in the morning, man.
It's
crazy, man. Yo,
we're used to it, man. We're used to it.
Yeah, used to.
I remember now everything's on demand. Yeah, you can watch it in the morning. Then you don't know the scores. But back in the day, when none of that was available, you had to stay up until 3 a.m. to watch it live. You know, and then sometimes they don't even show you a game, and then you're like, oh, why did I stay up all this time? So yeah, but now everything's on demand, so it's much easier.
Yeah, 100%, man. But now, what's everyone's feeling for Brentford, man? I mean, Greg, start with you, man. Revenge?
Oh, yeah, we lost 4-0 there last year. Whoops, I forgot about that. Can't lie. I forgot we lost 4-0. No David De Gea this time, so we're good. We know how that guy goes.
Griggs, Traps got so gassed, he bought a ticket to Brentford away. He witnessed it. He said, "I'm 10 Hag out now."
Bro, it's mad.
Wait,
lost
sure,
to
that
Philly,
game.
though. But that game was actually like that was peak. That
That was
is not
that,
gonna
some,
win much
some
of
people
it.
say that's worse than the 7-0, you know, because of the way it happened. It was
I-
like 4-0
It was
in
bad.
one
It was
goal.
I remember like Coach Ken was doing like I was seeing Twitter halftime spaces like the Undertaker entrance and stuff like that. It was peak, and that's when we beat Liverpool.
so peak,
It's gonna be a tough game. I'm not gonna lie. I think Bomo's back for them now. I think he came back like a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah.
if you're looking at United's transition defense, you're looking at Mbomo. He can be tricky. Wissa, Tony, obviously. I think Tony has he's gonna put a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because it could potentially be like an audition, right? Obviously, he's linked with Man United,
Audition,
so
yeah.
it could be kind of an
Don't you think this game kind of suits us on theory because dealing with a lot of headers and in the air, like we've been really good at that. Whether it's Johnny,
yeah,
Evans or- and when it
it's
comes to them, they've literally got no left hand side. I do wonder who's gonna go left wing back for them because they've got no one there, no Rico, no Sergio Regulon, and I think even the other guys injured that plays on the right.
Regulon suspended. I forgot
Suspended,
about that.
yeah. And then I'm thinking, I think they're missing one defender as well. So it might that right hand side. Yeah,
their form, Brentford's form is very, very bad at the moment as well.
Yeah, that's exactly. Welcome Man United with Robin.
Yeah.
You don't think they're going to kill us on the transitions? You don't think they've? Because we look open sometimes.
Is Thingy fit? Is Mbemo fit?
Yeah,
he played an in-house game on Thursday. He looked lively and good. He progressed further this week in terms of fitness and work and trying to get sharper. Yeah, so they don't have that. No, Chris Norgard is not playing as well.
Ooh,
what about Wisa?
Swear.
Wisa will be playing. No Ethan Pinnock. That's a big.
Oh, no Pinnock. Yeah, Pinnock causes us problems, bro. I swear.
Yeah.
Old Trafford, he was crazy. That was
he was crazy. He was moving mad, bro. He's moving.
I don't know. I think
Brentford have lost.
Obviously, no
Brentford have lost 7 of their last 9 meetings against United.
Is Jensen still there?
Well, Jensen as well.
Yeah, Jensen's still there.
It's gonna be a tough game. I mean, it screams of like.
Oh shit! Look at this! Look at this stat. Man United, Eric Ten Hag's side have just won 1 of their past 8 Premier League games away against London sides, and have lost 4 of their past 5. You know what I mean? The only 2 bottom sides, Burnley and Sheffield United, have lost more Premier League games than Brentford this season since 3 winning run, and Brentford have just won 3 out of the past 18. United have won more games by 1 goal margin, 12 of their 15 victories than any other Premier League game this season. So that's mad, you know. I've won more games by 1 goal margin. 12.
Cheers, side. I needed to reimburse how much I want 10 very much.
Yeah.
Looking forward to
yeah, this is it, man. So I don't know, man. It's going to be difficult, man. It's going to be very, very difficult. You know what I'm saying to you in terms of what we need.
We should win, man. We should win. Like these are the games we have to be winning if we want to make top 5 or top 4.
United should, and United should never.
No, I know, especially under Ten Hag. Our away record's just abysmal. Like when there's fans and there's a bit of press, like our away records, regardless whether it's in London or any other part of England, it's been horrible. Also, the last 2 seasons. So. But these are games. I respect Ten Hag because there's been so many rumors over this international break about his job. I do respect him for still being professional, still doing, remaining calm throughout it all. But yeah, these are games you should be winning. Otherwise, it's going to be a short time before he gets sacked.
Yeah. Why is someone saying who's doing the dishwasher? I don't understand.
Oh, it sounds like someone's doing some cleaning in the background.
I can hear it as well.
No, it's calm, man. But no, I think for me, ultimately, it's a must-win game, man. If you want this top 4, you know what I mean? Like, does anyone believe, by the way, does anyone think we've got a chance of this top 5 or whatever? Like, you know what I mean? Like, does anyone...
What's the outside chance?
It really depends on Spurs' game tomorrow.
You know,
because I do think that's a potential.
We need Spurs to drop like 9 points versus Arsenal. Who is that?
Sorry.
Bro, I don't know, you know. Yo, Kaz, is it you? Oh, it's my yeah, don't worry. But yeah, I think it's one of them where
Spurs have more difficult fixtures than us. I think they got Liverpool, Arsenal, and City.
Yeah.
So they got the worst.
Villa had the big 3 too.
Well. And Villa got the big, but Villa's ahead of Spurs. That's why I pointed out Spurs and not Villa. Yes. I think tomorrow we'll win.
No, I think
because I gotta go.
I think the big ones we gotta.
Let me just give my bad, bro. I'm gonna give out my prediction just before I go.
No,
I think we'll win tomorrow. I think Brentford are not as good as they were last year. You know, we kind of look at the individuals they got, especially Tony and Wissa and them, and we think we're dangerous on the counter, which they are. But I think we got enough to beat them. They're not a defensively good team like they were last year. They're not the same Brentford that was a banana slip for everyone. And I think we see this game a little bit easier than usual. It's all on right now Spurs and Villa, because Griggs made a good point. I didn't even know that Villa also had the top 3. They have the difficult fixtures. We're only 6 points behind Spurs. Spurs slip up tomorrow against Luton, or I think Sunday they play Luton. I forgot what day.
Nah, they're not
tomorrow.
gonna slip up, man.
But you never know, Said. Luton,
Barkley got
tomorrow, and we lose.
Barkley,
Done.
Barkley in that midfield. What's his name?
Bro, I'll
Sam
be there.
Lukonga. Said they have more goals than us, so when we talk about them, we got to show them a little bit more respect. We can't be talking shit about them when they have more goals than us. But we'll see what happens,
if
bro.
if they win, them 2 teams win tomorrow against Wolves and against Luton, and we lose, I think it's good night Vienna.
Well, yeah,
everyone.
obviously, yeah. We have a very
Big up Staffy, big up.
Thank you guys.
Then
Thank you
it's
for
done.
having me, guys.
Yeah.
like,
Make sure you follow Staffy TV.
I gotta run too, Said. See you, boys. Take care. Huh?
Yeah, 100%, man. Now I feel like for me, it's one of them where, you know, we just gotta be on it, man. We gotta be on it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be on it. We gotta be ready. And we gotta be on point, man. That's the main thing, man. And it's 8 p.m. as well. It's 8 p.m. kickoff.
I don't like that, you know. By the way, I've seen what they're trying to do there. They're trying to stitch us up under the lights, primetime game.
I know.
Match day.
They've done it. Yeah.
I see what they're trying to do, man. They got us.
They know in it. They know what can happen in that game. They know it's under the lights. The last game, we've lost against Newcastle at that time. We've lost. I think we've had a couple of them 8 p.m. kickoffs.
We've lost a few at that time.
Yeah. I mean, they'll be on it, man. Are you confident? How are you feeling, man? Are you just kind of like just get the job done?
Man, I never look forward to these games because these are the games when United has to impose themselves. You know, they have to sort of dictate the game a little more. Oh wait, am I muted?
No.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
No, you're good.
We have to like impose ourselves on the match. The midfield kind of has to run things. I don't see. Maybe I saw this thing like Martinez was looking to play or something, or I don't know if he's like fully out for the game, but I could see them like stealing some set piece goal and then low block defending. But I think there's a shot. Rashford's in good form right now. Garnacho decent form as well. Hopefully we can get something out of it.
Yeah. 100%, man. Give me your predictions. I'm going to go with United to win 3-1. 3-1 United. Griggs, chat to me.
3 goals, Brentford away?
Bro, listen, man. Bro, Hoyland's backing it. You know what I mean? I'm backing Hoyland, man. You know what I'm saying to you? We need to get him to get the double figures, and you know what I mean? Shamelessly, we're going to have to just back him ahead of Jesus and all them.
How many Premier League goals is he on? 5 or 6, 7?
7.
No, he's on 7, isn't it? 7.
Yeah, I need
Premier League goals.
I need it to be at least. I need 12. I need at least 12 by the end of the season. At
12,
least.
yeah, 12, and then it's got
that was my preseason prediction.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, man.
I think I'll probably go my favorite scoreline 2-1. I think I'm gonna lie. I think like Mainu not gonna play most of the game. Licha I think is a game time decision. Maguire is also a game time decision. So probably Varane Lindelof against Brentford scares me. I'm not gonna lie. That's the exact game that Lindelof gets put on a poster, back post by someone, and it looks peak. So I'm a little bit worried about that. But I'll say 2-1. I think we just have a much better attack than them.
Yeah, 100%. Cass, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'll say 2-1. I'll say 2-1. We probably score first. I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason to be. We need Evans and Varane tomorrow. No Lindelof, please. Wan-Bissaka. Just stick him on Mbuemo. See what we can do.
Yeah. Okay, say less. Is this big up to you? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking 2-1. 2-1. We get the job done. I don't know. Whatever kind of scrappy goal is. I don't know. McTominay, first goal. Højlund, second goal. Højlund, winner. Give me that.
Yep. Okay. Say no more. Big up to you. And Ryder, what are you saying, man?
I'm saying 1-0, man. I can't rely on this club, man. 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0. You know,
Yeah.
when I was on the Big Six, the amount of people that didn't predict for United win was crazy, man. Like,
Man, I'm
nobody rates
shook, bro.
United anymore, man. That's how bad we've become, man.
We're dead.
Yo, we need to get out of this mud,
I
man.
wish this game was.
Crazy.
I wish there was no international breaks. We had the momentum after the Liverpool game.
I
But now
know.
2
I
weeks
said
have
that.
passed.
Yeah.
I said that.
Very
You're
annoying.
spot on, you know. If we had
Very
that
annoying.
game, if there was no international break, United would have carried that momentum on. Now, everyone comes back, and you know what I mean, bro. Brentford, how many internationals have they got? They've got probably a couple of Danish
Tony.
players and Tony, and that is it. Everyone's at home. So let's see, man. But big up to everyone locked in, man. How many likes are we currently on? Like I said to you, man, the algorithm wasn't on our side today, so make sure you lot like the video. 300 likes, not bad, not bad. We'll let you off with that one tonight. We'll let you off, man. But if you can get them up to 400, we'll do that as well, man. Big up to Griggs, big up to Kaz, big up to Rhino, and big up to Zis as well, man. Make sure you follow up Zis on TikTok, man. But people saying
Big
you
up
need to come on
Zis.
YouTube as well, so maybe you can make that transition one day, maybe. But for now, check him on TikTok. Rhino's going to be live soon now. I think Kaz
Yeah,
is live
yeah.
as well. So just make sure you follow up everyone in it and just supporting them, man. You know what I'm saying to you. And big up to everyone who's locked in. Like the video. I'll be back tomorrow. I might do the watch alongs tomorrow. I might do Newcastle, but I'll definitely be doing Villa and other teams as well in that regards. But yeah, man, head over to respective channels now. Make sure you don't like the video. Make sure you don't subscribe to the channel. And yeah, man, head over and we're gonna redirect you to Kaz. I think he's live now as well. So make sure you tune in for that one. Like I said, Rhino, tune in for his one as well. We're
Going
out,
live in
people.
about 5
Peace.
minutes.